Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. By seeing this image, you can come to know that today we are going to learn about Sarojini Naidu. Yes, Sarojini Naidu or Sarojini Chattopadhyay, born on 13th February 1879 and died 2nd March 1949. She was an Indian political activist and poet, a proponent of civil rights, and she also worked hard for women's emancipation and anti-imperialistic ideas. She was an important figure in India's struggle for independence for colonial rule. Naidu's work as a poet earned her the sobriquet Nightingale of India by Mahatma Gandhi. She was called Bharat Kokila by Rabindranath Tagore. Yes, you can see has issued the stamp on Sarojini Naidu also 1879 to 1949. Okay, now let us see something more interesting facts about Sarojini Naidu. What was her personal life? What was her profession life? And where did she continued her education system? Okay, what was her childhood? What was personal information about Sarojini Naidu? She born in a Bengali family in Hyderabad. Naidu was educated in Madras, London and Cambridge. Following her time in England, where she worked as a suffragist in the sense feminist, she hardly supported women's. Okay, she was drawn to India by Indian National Congress movement for India's independence from British rule. She became a part of Indian nationalist movement and became the follower of Mahatma Gandhi and his ideas of Swaraj. She was appointed the president of Indian National Congress in 1925 and later she became the governor of United Provinces in 1947, becoming the first woman to hold the office of governor in the Dominion of India. Naidu's poetry includes both children poems and the other written on more serious themes including patriotism, romance and tragedy. Published in 1912 in the bazaars of Hyderabad, remains one of her most popular poems. She was married to Govindarajulu Naidu, a general physician, and had 5 children with him. She died of a cardiac arrest on 2nd March 1949. Cardiac arrest in the sense heart attack. Okay, as I said before, Sarojini Naidu was born in Hyderabad to Aghorenath Chattopadhyay and a Bengali Brahmin who was the principal of Nizam's College in Hyderabad. Her parental home was a Bharmangon in Bikarampur. Okay, in present day it is in Bangladesh. Her father Aghorenath Chattopadhyay, with doctorate of science from Edinburgh University, settled in Hyderabad where he administered Hyderabad College, which later became Nizam College in Hyderabad. Her mother, Barada Sundari Devi Chattopadhyay, was a poet and used to write poetry in Bengali. Yes, here you can see the childhood image of Sarojini Naidu. She was the eldest of 8 siblings. Her brother Virendranath Chattopadhyay was a revolutionary, and another brother was Harinder Nath, was a poet, a dramatist, and an actor. Their family was well regarded in Hyderabad not only for leading the Nizam College of Hyderabad but also as Hyderabad's most famous artists at that time. Being an artist in the era of British rule in India was considered a risky career. Yet, with their progressive values, they pursued them anyway. Education of Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu, having passed her matriculation exam from the University of Madras, took 4 years break from her studies, and then in 1895 HEH, the Nizam's charitable trust founded by the 6th Nizam, Mahbub Ali Khan, gave her a chance to study in England, first at King's College London and later at Girton College, Cambridge. Now coming to her marriage life, Sarojini met Padipati Govinda Rajulu Naidu, a physician, at the age of 19 after finishing her studies. She married him. At that time, intercaste marriages were not as common as they are today. But their families approved their marriage as Sarojini was from Bengal while Padipati Naidu was from Andhra Pradesh. This was an inter-religion marriage of East and South India with two different cultures. The couple had 5 children. Their daughter Padipatti Padmaja also joined the Indian independence movement and was a part of the Quit India movement. She was appointed the governor of the state of Uttar Pradesh soon after Indian independence. The writing career of Sarojini Naidu. Naidu began to write at the age of 12. Her play Maher Munir, written in Persian, impressed the Nizam of Kingdom of Hyderabad. In 1905, her first collection of poems named The Golden Threshold was published. The volume bore an introduction by Arthur Simon. Her poems were admired by prominent Indian politicians like Gopalakrishna Gokhale. Right? And then Naidu poem in the Bazaars of Hyderabad was published as a part of the Bird of Time with her other poems in 1912. In the Bazaars of Hyderabad was well received by critics who variously noticed or noted Naidu's visceral use of rich sensory image in her writings. The Feather of the Dawn, which contained poems written in 1927 by Naidu, was edited and published posthumously in 1961 by her daughter Padmaja Naidu. Moreover, her poem The Gift of India is also noteworthy for its patriotism and the actual environment of the 1915 India. Here are some important works of Sarojini Naidu. Yes, these are the works of Sarojini Naidu. 1905, the first book was published, that was The Golden Threshold in the United Kingdom. Okay? In 1912, The Bird of Time, Song of Life and Death and the Spring, published in London. Okay? In 1917, The Broken Wing, Song of Love, Death and Spring, including The Gift of India, first read in public in 1950. Yes, 1919, Muhammad Jinnah, an ambassador of unity. She wrote about the father of Pakistan, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Yes, an ambassador of unity. In 1943, she wrote the Scattered Flute, Songs of India, Allahabad, Kitabistan, posthumously published. Okay? 1961, The Feather of the Dawn, posthumously published, edited by her daughter Padmaja Naidu. As she was died in 1949, The Feather of Dawn was published by Padmaja Naidu. And in 1971, The Indian Weavers. Okay, these all are the books which are very famous and published out of the India, and publicly they read by all of the peoples around the world, mainly the politicians. Okay, even Gandhiji called her the Nightingale of India, Bharat ki Kokila, ya Bharatada Kogile. Yes, let us see her political career with Mahatma Gandhi. Sarojini Naidu, extreme right to Mahatma Gandhi. Right, with Mahatma Gandhi, you can see that is in 1930 during Salt Satyagraha. Yes, you can see in the image exactly Sarojini Naidu is beside Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, let us see something more about her. Naidu joined the Indian independence movement in the wake of partition of Bengal in 1905. She soon met other such leaders as Gopalakrishna Gokhale, Rabindranath Tagore, Mahatma Gandhi, and was inspired to work towards attaining freedom from the colonial regime and social reform. Between 1915 and 1918, Sarojini Naidu traveled to different regions of India delivering lectures on social welfare, emancipation of women, and nationalism. She also helped to establish the Women's Indian Association WIA in 1917. Later, in 1917, Naidu also accompanied her colleague Annie Besant, who was the president of Home Rule League and Women's Indian Association, to present the Advocate Universal Suffrage in front of the Joint Select Committee in London, that is in United Kingdom. Naidu again went to London in 1919 as a part of All India Home Rule League, as a part of her continued efforts to advocate freedom from the British rule. Upon return to India in 1920, she joined Gandhiji's Satyagraha movement. Congress president and increased involvement in the independence movement. Naidu presided over the 1925 annual sessions of the Indian National Congress at Kavanpur, now known as Kanpur. She was the first Indian woman and second woman overall after Annie Besant to do so. Naidu said in her address, "In the battle of liberty, fear is one unforgivable treachery and despair the one unforgivable sin." Yes, you can see here Sarojini Naidu plants a tree in Mehrauli, Delhi. Yes, you can see her political efforts, how she was active in the politics. Naidu also presided over East African and Indian Congress in 1929 session in South Africa. Naidu was arrested along with the Congress leaders including Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru and Madan Mohan Malviya for participating in 1930 Salt March. The Indian National Congress decided to stay away from the first round table conference that took place in London owing to the arrests. In 1931, however, Naidu and other leaders of the Congress party participated in the second round table conference, headed by Viceroy Lord Irwin in the wake of Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Naidu was one of the major figures to have led the civil disobedience movement and the Quit India movement led by Gandhi. She faced repeated arrests by the British authorities during the time and even spent over 21 months in jail. when she became the governor of United Provinces. Following India's independence from the British rule in 1947, Naidu was appointed as the governor of United Provinces, present day Uttar Pradesh. Okay, making her India's first woman governor. She remained in office until her death in March 1949. She became the first Indian woman governor of the particular free state. Let us see her awards and honors. Naidu was awarded the Kesariya Hind Medal by British government for her work during the plague epidemic in India, which she later returned in protest over April 1919 Jallianwala Bagh massacre. For her work in the field of poetry writing, Naidu was given the title of Nightingale of India. Even today it is followed, my dear friends. In 2014, Google India commemorated Naidu's 135th birth anniversary with a Google Doodle. Naidu was listed among 150 leading women list by the University of London to mark the 150 years since women gained access to higher education in the United Kingdom in 2018. Asteroid 5647 Sarojini Naidu, discovered by Eleanor Helen at Palmore Observatory in 1990, was named in her memory. The official naming citation was published by the Minor Planet Center on 27th August 2019, MPC. It was all about her awards. Now, her death. Let us see something about her death. Yes, the ashes of Sarojini Naidu kept at Golden Threshold, Hyderabad, before immersion. Naidu died of a cardiac arrest at 3:30 p.m. Cardiac arrest in the sense heart attack on 2nd March 1949 at the Government House in Lucknow. Upon her return from New Delhi on 15th February, she was advised to rest by her doctors and all official engagements were cancelled. Her health deteriorated substantially and bloodletting was performed on the night of 1st March after she complained of severe headache. She died after collapsing following a fit of cough. Naidu was said to have asked the nurse attending to her to sing to her at about 10:40 p.m., which put her to sleep. The last rites were performed at the Gomati River. This was all about Sarojini Naidu, my dear friends. She was the wonderful image and the very adorable feminist who dared to do something with the shoulder to shoulder of men at the age of before freedom.